Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's this time of the week that we like to say, welcome to Eejits of the World! With you,
Glenn Wool and you.
Andrew Maxwell.
I know it.
And what a cornucopia of clowns we have for you. We have the
Eejits of Oval Office fiascos.
And we have the Eejits of stolen golden toilets. It's art, baby.
That's right.
It's art.
Stolen golden moments.
What a week of...
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's all we took off. We took off 2 weeks to spend time with our children.
We'll let the reservoirs fill.
We sure did. And the deluge of dickheads drenched the hillsides of horseholes? I don't know.
You spent your weeks as you did, and I spent my weeks as mine.
Either way, the dam is full.
God
Shall
damn.
we release the sluice of light entertainment, Mr. Glenn?
Yes, we shall.
And let us check that the salmon leap is fully operable.
Yep, the ladder's there. It's working. We will have fish in 4 years.
Yes, may we. Well, Mr. Glenn, do you have I don't know, what's happened in the last 2 weeks?
Well,
do you have a little story for me?
Well, you might not have heard about this, but Zelensky went to the White House.
Oh!
And it was like full-on wrestling, they're all friends. They're all on Roddy Piper's snake pit, and they're talking like, oh yeah, we're gonna win the belts, and then they just turned on him. They like two mean girls, Trump and Vance, just tore him apart.
One of them had a really bad dye job. The other one had really bad makeup.
Yeah,
Both of them plump. Couple of plump fellas.
If this was a way of checking whether or not he had telekinesis, like if he was Carrie, blood would be spurting from the roof. Yeah.
So mental. So just absolutely unbelievable. And Trump in the middle of it was like, this is great television.
Yeah. Well, they set it up too. It wasn't. It was planned. TASS was in the room. The Russian media source. My
only thing I can imagine about Trump meets Zelensky meets J.D. Vance live in the Oval Office. I can only imagine all of that was just a psyop on behalf of the CIA to see where they could possibly make Vladimir Putin laugh to death. That they will have had a small hidden camera pointing towards the Kremlin the whole time, with just seeing if the pigeons flew off the roof of St. Basil's Cathedral.
I think you have to.
What's happening to me? I've never had this emotion. Joy, evil joy.
They were trying to get us. They were trying to produce a smile that could break through the most Russian face and the most plastic surgery that any man is. The combination of the two. It was like a jail of smiles. No smile had ever escaped. It was the Alcatraz of smiles. But there it was in the morning.
I have to laugh on inside.
Yeah, he had a man shot. He didn't know why, but he was just like, what? What's this feeling of joy?
Oh. Dark, blood-soaked delight.
Bring me political prisoner. I'll shoot him.
Where is in your holy book that evil does not win? Wow. So much stuff. I can imagine just like J.D. Vance. To quote, I don't know if you saw this, Sky News' most senior political correspondent, Adam Bolton. He's been in position, I don't know, my entire adult life. Good 30 years. He's been the top political correspondent for Sky News.
Yeah.
He watched that debacle in the Oval Office, and his pithy analysis of the situation is that J.D. Vance is, and I quote, a piece of shit.
Ha!
That's pretty accurate. There you go. 30 years in the business. He knows what a piece of shit looks like.
God, he's known some pretty disgusting people too.
Yeah.
Like that is like if you wanted someone to call you a piece of shit, that's the greatest compliment. That man, he's known that. He's a sewage connoisseur. He's watched a lot of effluent float down that river.
Oh yes, so much shit.
Yeah, he's just put his hands on his hips. He goes, "That's the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen." And I live down by the sewage treatment plant.
Yeah, Trump was...
I took a picture of it. I would rarely not take a picture.
Just jump in the middle, just loving it, just, you know.
Yeah.
You could see in Trump's head, it could have only been made better if he gone, okay, stop it. It's now time for the paternity test results. Just somebody comes out and goes, this stillborn baby of a peace process, the father is...
Well, I found too, because it was such an ambush, but Zelensky actually zinged back and got Vance with a question that he wasn't expecting when he's
which is otherwise known as any question.
Yeah, exactly. like in his head, you can tell he's a fantasist because he's like, I'm gonna say all this, and then he's gonna piss his pants, and he's gonna ask if I can father his children and his wife, and that's probably what'll happen. But in the end,
the Harlem Globetrotters are gonna give me a high five.
yeah. Like in his head, that's where it's all going. Like in. Dumb and Dumber, where the guy's imagining what his joke's gonna do. But he got like in the middle of it, he's just like, well, have you ever been to Ukraine? And you could just see it like stun him, like, oh shit, this guy knows I haven't been to Ukraine. Of course he fucking knows you haven't been to Ukraine. You're the vice president. He's been fighting off the Russians. Like, if you had been to Ukraine, you're in big trouble. Like if you're like, yeah, no, I had a meeting with Putin. I've never been to Ukraine. So then he's like, and this is like, he has quite feminine eyes, J.D. Vance. They don't like to talk about it, but his eyes got hurt. He
literally wears eyeliner. So just apart from everything else, that just the whole experience for Zelensky must be like, I'm being actively humiliated by the world's last new romantic. Adamant's fat fucking illegitimate son. Could be.
Yeah, but then I challenged him. He's like, have you ever been to Ukraine? And he's like, I don't need to go to Ukraine.
I've seen pictures. Yeah. Is it from our drones before we wipe out our enemy? No, the Eurovision. I looked at footage of the Eurovision from 2012.
They're like two guys who like started a bar fight and got beat up. That was what that was sort of like.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Yeah, just across the board, the White House has gone insane. And from a Canadian perspective, at some point, America has to step in and take their mother home. It's like their moms got drunk at Christmas time, and it's like, okay, I know we're just the children, but Mom, you can't.
Yeah,
that's one too many pronouncements. Just America has to just go and I don't know.
It's genuinely. It's just there was in a moment we witnessed the end of the American century. That's it. Nobody that's what allies are based on, trust, and you just fucked it all.
Well, yeah.
Nobody will ever. I mean, you'd be insane to trust America ever again if you were the ally of America.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, fucking, it's not worth the fucking paper it's written on.
Well, and that's, to me, as a Canadian, I find it very funny they're like, hey, you want to join? You want in? It's like, yeah, like maybe any other time ever, but now, like, you've got these two jackasses running the country, and they're like, yeah, come in, you'll have voting rights, you'll get weapons, probably lose your health care. But
you'll get shitter at hockey. Your beer's going to get weaker. You're going to get shitter at hockey.
There's really no reason, but it's so rude too. Because Canadians were just looking at it, going, we're not your only neighbor. Like after offering us all that, then they turned to Mexico. Mexico's like, we'd love to join you. No, wall. Put up a wall. Put up a wall. Don't look at gross. That's what I think Denmark should do. Change Greenland's name to Brownland, then they won't want it anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
The ones I feel sorry for is Puerto Rico, right? It's like, we're going to make you the 51st state. You're the only people who've ever put this offer out to. And they're like, man, we're over here, man.
Picking through the rubble on their own because FEMA won't come and help them.
We're literally United States citizens, man. Like, why won't you make us a state?
Yeah.
You guys are stupid at hockey. Sorry, they're the rules. Only new states welcome. Great at hockey.
Yeah.
Russia. I'm thinking of you.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm always thinking of you. Ever since you recruited me in the mid-70s.
Maybe that is what he's trying to do, get a hockey team that can beat Canada.
You're not going to find that south of the border. I'm sorry, you're not.
Well, they came close, but you didn't win. That's and this is the other side of it too. Is like the deal he's offering is terrible. But if you take healthcare away from 40 million people, it'll be okay for a couple of years, but you're going to have people like watching loved ones suffer without care. You're going to have people just get like terminal diagnoses. All of a sudden, you've got 40 million people who focused on Trump as the guy who took their health care away. You've armed them. You've given them freedom of movement. You're going to have 40 million Luigis on your hand. You've got a big head. And this is the other thing. People think Canadians don't have guns. We do have guns. I'm from Vancouver. All my friends, that's the most left-wing city you can possibly find anywhere in the world. All my friends hunt. All of my friends from high school hunt. The people on the farms, they use guns to keep vermin down. We have guns. We just use them for what they're for.
Oh, I see.
So that's sort of people. Yeah. So that's the message to Donald. I would put out there is that the difference between Canadians and Americans is Canadians don't miss.
Well. Oh, man. God. And if anything, that wasn't even the stupidest thing. It wasn't anything. In that Oval Office debacle, nothing Donald said was the stupidest thing. Nothing J.D. Vance said was the stupidest thing. Oh no. The role of the stupidest thing said during the stupidest political interview between allies in the history of Western democracy. That role was by none other Brian Glenn.
Hey.
Brian Glenn.
I like half of them. How many N's in Glenn?
Brian Glenn, of course I speak of the Washington correspondent for none other than Real America's Voice.
Yeah.
Brian Glenn. Oh, I've got so much to tell you about Brian Glenn. Brian Glenn.
Are you sure this one's just the two guys who have that podcast?
It's just Brian and Glenn. No.
Truth serum.
We're digging in the well of truth. We're throwing coins into the wellspring of veracity. What the fuck does that mean, Glenn?
First, we're gonna blend up some venison steaks. You still chewing with your teeth? You're like a rube. Come on. I'm gonna suck a whole steak of venison through a plastic straw because goddamn God Donald, that's what I call him.
God
Donald has allowed me to have my plastic straws back. I was making them myself.
We're sucking back chunks here.
That's the name of the segment. Sucking chunks with Brian and Glenn.
Red meat only.
Yeah, put the eyes, hooves, everything in that blender.
Yeah.
You use it all.
White meat is breakfast meat.
It's the power meat. The white power meat.
Fucking idiots. So Brian Glenn,
Yeah.
of Real America's Voice, one of the finest news gathering organizations.
God, I've had so much of that fake American voice.
Hey, how you doing? Fake America's Voice. Anyway, Brian fucking Glenn, in the middle of this fucking debacle, where the entire Western order post the Second World War was shot away by two fat fucking dickheads, one with shit hair and one with shit eyes, and both with shit mothers. Brian Glenn decides it's time that he asked a question, and his question was to President Zelensky, war hero of 3 years, was, "Don't you own a suit? You think it's disrespectful not to wear a suit in the Oval Office?"
Takes a big suck of venison shake.
The shake had hooves on it this morning. Do you own the suit? Zelensky's like,
Do you? That's not the question.
Zelensky, apart from the fuck, he's a war hero. Bona fide war hero. He was also one of us. He was a comedian. He's one of our people.
Yeah.
And the fact that you could see the agony this fucker was being put through, because it wasn't like he was dealing with half-wit politicians, which he was, and half-wit fucking shill journalists, which he was. It looked, from our perspective as comedians, like it looks like it's the ultimate nightmare of a comedian, of some shithead gets finally thrown out of a gig, and then legally you have to meet them afterwards and do a press conference with the heckler. And whatever fucking Leicester police make sure it's 50-50. Both of you you're like, I was just trying to do my routine. Why did you say that about my mother? You shouldn't talk about people's mothers. It wasn't about your mother. It was about my mother. And in fact, it was a fictional account about holidays with my mother when I was a child. It's nothing to do with, and why did you call her Alice? That's my mother's name. No, it's not even my mother's name. Like I said, it was a fictional mother. I just pulled the name out of, because alliteration, it was, I'm answering you, Alice. That's all that I was doing. You talk about my mother again. It was that level of, you could see Zelensky was like, it was when he had his arms crossed, he was like, oh, fucking dead. This is just, I'm never working for this club again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what it looked like. He was like, I'm never working for these people again. I don't care. They've got 12 clubs. I don't care. These people are dickheads.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's a stand-up. Yes, he has a suit. We all do for corporates.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he goes, so fucking Brian Glenn goes, well, you got a suit. Do you think it's disrespectful to show up in the White House without a suit on? Yes, of course. All those famous people that have shown up in the White House not in suits. Winston Churchill. Every Saudi prince.
Yeah.
Elon Musk. Last week.
Exactly.
Fucking Elvis.
There was a jumpsuit.
Yes. Okay, it's technical suit. Okay. But it's not.
I think that should be the option. Suit or spangly jumpsuit. One of the two.
It's so great if he showed up.
The Saudis.
No, he just felt full fucking Vegas Elvis. Just open to the navel. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 for the campaign to defend democracy in the Western world against dictators like Putin.
Thank you for the money. Thank you for the arms.
Thanks for the money, thanks for the show. Gotta get out of here because you're all fucking idiots.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vladimir has left the building. He's been escorted out by Rubio.
I like how you dance. Fucking Rubio tried to disappear into the couch.
I know. Well,
He's just like, this is a guy that got his first batch at fame from the fact that he married one of the fucking cheerleaders for the Miami Dolphins. He's like, how have I ended here?
Yeah.
Witnessing the end of Western civilization.
Yeah, isn't he the governor of Florida? He's something Florida, right?
He is. He was a senator. He was one of the senators from
Oh, man. So, like, he was married to a cheerleader. All he had to do was, like, make sure Florida doesn't light itself on fire or something. Like, there's so low expectations for Florida that you can just basically go, just try
don't put your pecker in a gator. That's kind of why it's our state motto.
Gentlemen, could you please stop fucking those watermelons? We're trying to sell them to the rest of America. It's obvious what you've done. We can't don't plaster over it with Play-Doh and act like you haven't fucked it because you did.
You've already plastered over it. We know that we look like America's flaccid penis.
Yeah.
And Tallahassee's the taint of America.
Really is. But that's what I'm saying. Like you've just got a pretty nice, easy life there, and then all of a sudden you're like in an '80s movie that for some reason Chuck Norris got sick and didn't save. Like, and all the Russians are in the White House and they seem to have taken over.
Yeah,
and you're like, because Rubio knew. Like Rubio was he did really big speeches about Putin. Like, oh, you can't trust him. He knows all the intel, but then he's just like, "Whoa, the big boys doing this. I don't want him to call me gay
again. I don't want him flicking my ears."
Yeah,
Jesus.
You have to sit on the couch petulantly.
Oh, you can see his spine turn to blancmange, man. Oh, so muy macho. What a Cuban macho man you are. Fuck. Anyway, let's get back to the suit thing, right?
Yeah.
So, in the middle of all this, this is, because obviously this has been weirdly, the Zelensky wearing his sort of military fatigue sort of wear, which he's worn since the first day of the war, in solidarity with his frontline troops, has been a weird bugbear for fucking ages for all the far right dudes around Trump. Tucker Carlson, he's back in the show.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Yeah.
Last time he was on Eejits of the World, he was fighting demons who had the claws of his dogs, which he sleeps in the same bed with. He said of Zelensky's look, you know, the jumper with the Trident logo and the whole 9 yards. He said, he looks like the manager of a strip club demanding money. Man, man, that's specific.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like feel like you just left one word out from that. He looks like the manager of a strip club demanding money. Again.
Yeah. Well, that's not how strip club managers dress. So he must just think facially he looks like that manager of the strip club who kept asking him to pay. Like, no, you've misunderstood, Tucker. When you bought that champagne, that was for everybody, and you have to pay for that. The girls. Yeah. Well, I didn't understand it that way.
American freedom. Yeah. That's not what the founding fathers would have said. In their strip clubs, all the strippers were free.
And did he flick his little boy hair out of his eyes to say it? That guy! He's got that little weird... Yeah, Tucker Carlson, to me, do you know what he looks like? He looks like a trout that's just been bonked on the head. He really has that...
He does look like pre-bonked trout.
Post-bonk. This trout has been bonked. Two guys are Florida are taking it into the watermelon patch.
Oh, fuck. Oh, just all of it. Oh, it's just so fucking stupid.
Yeah, well,
Brian, I'm obsessed. I must tell you more about...
Please do.
Brian Glenn.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you've seen... You get yourself, because obviously Brian Glenn was hiding behind the couch when he shouted his nonsense question about, do you want a suit? And then, Zelensky was like, maybe I'll get a suit like your suit. Maybe a better one for cheaper. Because Brian Glenn just looks like two real estate agents fucked.
Oh, no.
And made a third real estate agent. You've got to take a look at this picture of Brian Glenn. Take a look at a picture of Brian Glenn. Brian Glenn looks like he was the man that discovered you could just drink aftershave. Why are we splashing it on you and then spending money on bourbon? You could just drink the aftershave and then you'll sweat the flavour out.
Yeah, they won't kick you off the flight the next day. Sir, you really stink. We're going to have to ask you to leave.
Smell of jupe, sir. Sir, have you drank 2 litres of Paco Rabanne?
Yeah, I smelled that burp, sir. But you thought you did it into your shirt, but we could smell it.
Yeah, no, we know what you are. He was Brian Glenn Glenn's his middle name. His real name is Brian Wilson, which he went for most of his professional career. Right? No, not No, he was not the genius behind the Beach Boys. Although maybe, I mean, that's, to be honest, at this stage, anything could be that fucking stupid.
Yeah. I think it would lead to a lot of confusion. People would be really excited. We have a question from Brian Wilson. Really? This dipshit.
I didn't even know he was still alive.
Yeah. Amazingly, Brian Wilson is still alive.
Hey, well, there you go. So Brian Glenn, Brian Wilson, kind of changed his name. It's a little bit of a reboot.
Sure.
Because he used to be at Fox News. And he sexually harassed one of the female anchors. And then his sexual harassing of one of the female anchors was one of the stories in the Hollywood blockbuster movie Bombshell. All about the toxic atmosphere in Fox News. Under Roger Ailes. Yeah.
Wow.
And the female anchor, she got awarded a shitload of money. And Brian Wilson had to leave Fox News. But he revived his career.
Thank God.
Yes. By going to Nashville Morning News, Super Talk, WWTN FM, 99.7 on the dial.
We don't mind a little ass grabbing down here.
Here in the volunteer state, we don't care whether it's involuntary. You call it Nashville, we call it Smashville.
We call it Shville.
Well, good. Our dear friend, the bastion of the Fourth Estate, Brian Glenn Wilson. He's old Triple Barrel. He's now in a relationship with none other than Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's who this dude is. He's the other half of MAGA power couple Marjorie Taylor Greene, she of the Jewish space lasers.
Holy fuck. Those two people could be killed by a crossword puzzle.
A simplex crossword puzzle.
Yeah, the USA Today one.
I want to see him just put those pair of cunts in a zoo and see if they can do that thing that chimps do for a chunk of pineapple. No pineapples coming out. Really, Marge? How is that?
I write it where it's supposed to come out. Don't get pineapple in your eye again, Marjorie. What?
Oh, fuck me. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's goddamn America. But this is the thing. They all slavishly love it. Like you follow it online, and all the MAGA people are like, "No, that's how you do business. That's how you treat people."
Yeah. Force them to say thank you.
Which they did. Which you did. He already did say thank you.
Fucking all the time. He said thank you every single time.
Yeah. And quite famously, like, America is acting like they were forced to do this. They were the ones who did it. They were like, okay, well, we'll give you these weapons. And yeah, that's why Ukraine was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, we'll definitely, we'll fight off Russia if you can give us weapons. Mm-hmm. Okay. And they did. They didn't take weapons because they're like, where'd this money go? Like, if they didn't use that money, like, they've got great evidence. You know the Russian army that's plugged up in the Donbass? Yes. How do you think we did that with our minds like a fucking Jedi?
We did some of that high kicky dancing. We had a Cossack dance-off with them. Yeah. But sadly, they're not as supple as our boys. Well, there you go.
But yeah, this is the thing. So but they fucking love Trump. The last three things Trump has done that didn't involve a crowd of his morons yapping delight at every little dog whistle word he said. The last three things where like another human came in that didn't agree with him. Yep. He had a debate with Harris and he got trounced. And then he wouldn't debate her anymore. Mm-hmm. And then he went to Israel, and Netanyahu seriously just kicked him in the ass and fucking said, he's like, this is what we're going to do. It's like, no, you're not going to do any of that. And then he's like, okay, well, what if we make Gaza into a casino? And then everyone can enjoy the bar and the gambling, the Muslims and the Jews, you know. And then Putin's just fucking. He got nothing. He's like, I've had some peace talks, and yeah, we've sorted it out. He gets everything.
Hi, Vladimir. So great. What do you want? Okay, yeah. Well, we wish you all the very best, America.
Yeah, you're going to need it.
You're going to need it. Yeah? That's what happens. When the clown takes over the castle, the kingdom becomes a circus.
I don't even think he's a clown. I think he's like one of those guys who guess your weight or something. He's like, he works on the periphery of the circus tent.
Oh no, he's not a main actor.
He's not allowed on stage. He's the one who gets the shit out of the elephants before they go out there. He gets a big stick and sort of make sure they don't take a big dump in front of the crowd.
It's an important role. Huge.
He's the only one with hands small enough to get up the elephant's ass.
I'm the dump getter. All right, fuck it.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Are you ready for another story, Mr. Glenn?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Well, let's move on. Because let's move to the world of crime, art, and stupid aristocrats. Lovely. There's your. It's like one of those cookery programs. Here's your 3 ingredients. Make yourself an Eejits of the world story from them. Because it's finally come to trial. Blenheim Palace, one of the finest stately homes in England. The birthplace of none other than Winston Churchill. It is the grand seat of the Dukes of Marlborough.
Ah.
Yes. Originally, they were merely the Viscounts of Lucky Strikes.
Yeah. I thought they'd all died of lung cancer.
Well, they don't live long, but they live full lives.
Are they dukes or just the Marlborough men?
So, what happened was a £4.8 million solid gold toilet was stolen
What?
out of Blenheim Palace.
Why do they have that?
Well, because it wasn't just the solid gold shitter, it was also art.
No.
Yes.
No.
Do you recall some time back on Eejits of the World, we covered a story of Italian prankster artist Maurizio Catalan, who had sold a banana taped to a wall for millions?
Yes.
He's back again on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Maurizio Catalan created a solid gold shitter, solid gold toilet that was 4.8 million sterling, 6 million US. A fully functioning toilet, and it was called, the piece of art was simply called America. Right?
All right. I accept it then. 2 weeks ago, maybe not.
Yes. And it was on loan from the Guggenheim in America, and it was in Blenheim Palace, and visitors you took a ticket, like a deli counter ticket, and you got 3 minutes to use it.
Do anything you want to.
Do whatever the hell you want to go to it. I know the gold's an incredible superconductor, so the seat would never get cold, like an airport toilet seat. You know the way? Yeah. You look around, it doesn't look like it's been absolutely shat through by somebody with dysentery. And you sit down in the airport toilet, and you're like, oh, it's so much ass warmth.
Yeah.
Gold is a superconductor.
Yeah, and then sometimes there's a little half moon of sweat.
Oh, a half moon of sweat.
Yeah, that's when I like to just rest my cheek on it and go, who did you come from, half moon of sweat? From where did you emerge?
Let me make you a full moon of sweat. Anyway.
You sit on it cowboy style. I am completing a moon of sweat. Now, close that door. I didn't realize I locked it. But no, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, I didn't realize it opened outwards. Okay, what kind of cotton picking airport is this? Cockamamie Airport. So, visitors could come and see it.
Yeah, well, it's not just weird if you just had it.
Yeah, well, you could shit in it, you could pee in it, or presumably you could puke and wank in it. I don't know. But you had 3 minutes, and there was a bodyguard.
I could do all of those. Or you could hit the grand slam like I did.
Is everything okay in there? It is now, buddy.
Just yell out when I'm getting close to 3. Because I'm. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. How long's the line? I might be. Yeah, I'll see.
Count me down, buddy.
I might just have to rejoin the line.
It is 98 kilos of solid gold in Blenheim Palace.
Wow.
18 karat gold. You can have your slots for it. And then some dudes broke in and stole it.
I am all for that. I'm happy that happened.
Yeah. The brother of the Duke said in an interview at the time, he goes, well, it's fully plumbed in and it's very heavy. So no, we don't think anybody will steal it. Like, how out of touch are you with the general population of England? In the country you live in, you multi-generational aristocratic twat, Englishmen steal normal toilets. Right? Geezers are nicking carsies all the time, mate. Let alone a solid gold toilet.
See, I was surprised I didn't get a call because I make your toilet unstealable. I got a certain job in the underworld. Hang around in a pub. They know where to find me. I understand you have a solid gold toilet you don't want anybody to ever take. Well, good thing you found me because they call me the skunk. What I do, it's a two-layered attack. Whereas, what you gotta do is you gotta, first off, you gotta find me first. I'm like the A-team. My associate will hand you an embossed card with Pepe Le Pew on it. You gotta meet me in a crowded area. You'll know who I am. You'll just look at all the people and go, I think he's the one I'm looking for. You sit down, we'll arrange a price. And then what you gotta do is you gotta go home. You gotta stop by the supermarket, one of the cheap ones. And you get a discounted meat aisle. And you make a stew out of all of that. Yeah, leave it out for a few days. Put some anchovies in it.
I want you to get some Hungarian lasagna. Get over the border into Hungary and get all the freezer aisle lasagna you can get your hands on.
You'll need all of it. I'll show up around 6. I want that put on the. I want a stock pot full of this chili of the discount meat. And you know that bottle of wine that you cook with? It's been around for about a year. It's been open. Give me a glass of that. I'll have it with my
Because 6 o'clock is closing time, but 6:05 is opening time.
That's right. Around 7, 8. That's when the gurgling will start.
Don't ring your emergency plumber.
No. I'm gonna go in there and set up the protection. I guarantee you, no crew's gonna come in and take this toilet. If the smell don't get it, even if they get it out, they'll bring it back. They bring it back, and they'll be like, we melted it down and put it into bars, and it still stank. It still stank. You know the heat that it takes to melt gold? Why does it still stink? Why? You got a haunted toilet. And you may look and you say, well, why is there still a toilet there? You said you melted down. It reformed. It reformed like a goddamn Terminator. I don't know what happened to that toilet. But
started flying out of people's teeth. Around the necks. Yeah, it's gone. They don't know what happened to it. So there's 3 or 4 dudes in court right now.
Yeah.
And one of them was asked it because he had, reccied it out. None of these men are, he went, it says in a record that you took a half day on the Wednesday do you usually take half days off to see art exhibitions? And he went, to be fair, no. I thought it sounded interesting. He goes, and you used it? He went, yeah. How was the experience? And he said, splendid. Splendid.
He had a wank. He had a wank.
That is English court talk for I've wanked on solid gold. It's all gone.
And does it just have like one of those plastic lids, like those bar toilet seats?
No, all of it was gold.
Wow.
The lids, the handle, it's all gold.
Wow.
And it's all gone. They don't know where it's gone.
Whose gold was it?
Oh, well, it was Maurizio Catalan had made it, and it was owned by the Guggenheim in America. It was on loan to Blenheim Palace.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just made for this and going to be melted back down and put into Fort Knox afterwards.
Fort Knox. That's how we protect the gold now. We just have diuretic men sitting on it at all times.
The skunk's in there.
The skunk is in action.
The skunk is in.
Maurizio Catalan said one of the genuine at the time before they found the dudes, who are, I don't know whether they'd be found guilty or not, but Maurizio Catalan was in the picture for it because obviously he is a art prankster. That's his whole career.
Yeah.
And when it happened, he said, "I've always liked heist movies, and now I'm in one."
Yeah.
You would arrest him and just double check.
He's gonna know not to say anything.
But it turned out it was a plumber from Northamptonshire. These the men who they've got up before the beak. These aren't dudes that know a lot about high-end art prankery. These guys.
Yeah, the Italian guy Banksy and all these Northampton plumbers, they all drink in the same pub.
We all drink in the same spoons. That's how we knew about it. Maurizio, we just call him Morris.
Yeah. Tried using his full, it's not pronounceable.
It's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We only keep him in a team because he's a great plumber. You know what I mean? He plums gold, do you know what I mean?
Hey, not many people do.
It's a dying art, isn't it? Like barrel making. Anyway, I looked into it. So, this story gets fucking stupider. So, Blenheim Palace, like I said, is the family seat of the Dukes of...
Seat.
Nice. Is the present Duke of Marlborough. Mm-hmm. He weighed in to our previous story, the nonsense in the White House, the Oval Office. People were going, well, they didn't treat Churchill like that, war hero in his weird baby grow romper suit that he used to wear for the whole war.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
And the 12th Duke of Marlborough, who is the grandnephew of Winston Churchill.
Okay.
He said, well, I'm sick of my uncle being brought into all this. Of course he wouldn't be... Because it turns out the 12th Duke, the present one, is a massive Farage fan and campaigned for the Reform Party in last year's UK election.
Wow.
So now that he is stuck his fucking snout above the parapet, let me give you a little breakdown about the life of the 12th Duke of Marlborough. And see at the end of the story whether you feel in any way sorry that his fucking gold Kazi got swiped. By the way, he is not before his father, the 11th Duke of Marlborough, passed away. He deliberately made sure that his son was disinherited from any control over Blenheim Palace. So, right.
Father knows best.
Yes, because this guy is such a knob. His real name is Jamie Blandford. I always think, you know what I mean?
Jamie?
Jamie. So ski. So French Alps. Yeah. Jamie.
I always think it's just you'll never be a man with a name like Jamie. It's like a little boy's name.
Like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Lovely little boy, Jamie Lee Curtis. Anyway, so to Jamie Blanford.
Yeah.
He goes to Harrow.
Hello.
Same elite school, the arch rival school of Eton, the one that Winston Churchill went to, amongst many other people. So he went to elite school, right? One of the top schools. Which is the entire job of it is to set you up for going to Oxford or Cambridge, right?
Yeah.
No, he went to the Royal Agricultural College. That's where the real biffos go. Teach me about pigs for 4 years. Show me how to throw the acorns at them for 4 bloody years.
Trying to get your inbred jaw realigned.
No. I just breed the pigs so they look like me.
Is that really why?
Yes. Yes. In '94, his old man just disinherited and went, "Nah, there's no way you're not in charge of the palace."
Wow.
The next year, '95, he spent a month in prison for forging prescriptions.
Under the NHS?
No, I don't know. It was antidepressant for my pigs. But if I crushed it and shared it with the pigs, with me and the pigs got high.
What was upsetting the pigs? None of your damn business.
I want the tails to be straight, not curly.
It was a heated device to straighten the tails. It's not illegal. Thankfully. It is now, when they found out.
Nah. They actually changed the law to stop little old Jamie. If I want a straight-tailed pig, I'll have one, damn you. Fucking madness. Anyway,
Wow.
so there's more fantastic shit to the world of the 12th Duke fucking Marlborough. In 2007, he spent 6 months in prison for road rage. Somebody honk the horn when I have the pigs in the car.
I'll spook them. God damn it. I just got them to sleep.
If you spook a man's pig, that pig won't give milk for a month. I must have my pig milk.
It wouldn't be a latte without it.
This is my favourite of the many facts about Jamie Blanford.
Yeah.
In 2009, a mere 2 years after he's done 6 months in prison for road rage incidents, he went on a TV show called Rich, Famous and Homeless, where for 3 nights, British celebrities were going to sleep rough so that they could see what it was like to be homeless. Nothing gets on my fucking tits more than this shit. Because at the end of it, the celebs, there'll be they go, well, it was really hard and really great. Yeah, that's not what homelessness is about. It's about never fucking getting back into it.
Yeah, they've basically gone to Glastonbury.
Yeah, exactly. So we went to Latitude. The pigs couldn't put up the tent. One of them squealed something about the trotters not being able to operate a mallet. Young, famous and homeless, Jamie Blanford, the 12th Duke of Marlborough.
It was initially going to be called Young, Sexy and Homeless. And Jamie got the role.
Well, he was quite the playboy back in the day.
Oh, was he?
Oh, yes. If you wanted to see him, a ripe swine in the nightclubs of Mayfair, strutting my stuff on the dance floor at Annabelle's. Night one, He slept in the car park of a 5-star hotel.
I've done that.
Yeah, well done then. On examination, the sleeping bag that the production company gave him was unused. Right? Night 2 on the TV show Rich, Famous and Homeless, he insisted that he could sleep in the hotel. And when the production crew said they didn't think that was in the spirit of the show, he walked off the set. In 2013, he racially abused a Sikh taxi driver.
Oh.
In 2022, he ripped off Porsche for 65 grand.
Well, that's okay.
That's a Luigi-style crime. Yeah. And then he popped back up in 2004 to support Nigel Farage. And now this year, he's popped back up again to support J.D. Vance and Donald Trump in the Oval Office debacle.
And to speak for his long dead great-great-grandfather.
Great-great-grand-uncle.
Oh, great-great-uncle. But yeah, he's like, I know the family doesn't want me anywhere near them, but I'm pretty sure I speak for the long dead ones.
Exactly. I mean, my father thought I was a bag of shit. So does everybody else. But I'd like to say... He said, I met my great-grand-uncle, in the 50s when he was, Churchill was already Tonto and you were 4?
Yeah.
I'm a pretty good judge of pigs and prime minister.
Yeah. Well, we both know, we knew a Churchill. She's sadly not here with us, but...
from Glastonbury.
Yeah. But we'll say if the family kicked him out, he didn't speak for Churchill. Because they were not, she was a nice lady.
He sure was.
Yeah.
Sure was. As Churchill was a great war prime minister. Somewhat of a checkered reputation in other parts of his career. But when he wore that jumpsuit, he was fighting a fucking fascist dictator.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess just nobody could talk to him about it, huh? I saw the pictures of the jumpsuit.
of Churchill in his jumpsuit.
It looked like one of those things you can jump out of a plane with and still...
Bear in mind, he was never sober either.
It was probably a prototype of that. What I need.
Never in the history of our country has a man had to hide brandy on his person. Such baggy material.
Just get me over Germany. Get me over. I will leap in my jumpsuit. That's why it's called a jumpsuit.
That's right.
Just give me a roundabout idea where Hitler is. You will never expect.
Blind me as the hangover's kicking in. I'll run them through with my sword. My pink sword. So there you go. So that's whose toilet got nicked. Or whose home insurance has gone through the roof.
Oh yeah.
The Duchy of Marlborough.
Good. Yeah, I hope he really gets dinged over this. Because who would insure you for that? The insurance on that alone must have been ridiculous. You want to do what?
Yeah.
And just let people come from miles around to see your pile of gold?
Exactly.
Or they'll also be defecating into it. Oh, sorry.
No. Thousands of people will leave their DNA on it. Thousands.
That changes the number. Let me get a bigger calculator.
Could we borrow your solid gold calculator? But the fact that it was meant to be, it was meant to speak of consumer and society and the wayward nature of America, and they just couple of gazes nicked it.
Yeah.
At it. Gone.
Good.
Never to be seen again.
Good. And you know what I like best about it? Is that those plumbers from Northampton did a lot of coke off that toilet that night. They did a lot of it.
It wasn't good coke. They were in Northampton.
It is now.
Funny when you got a solid gold toilet, the coke dealers seem to come out of the woodwork.
Just smell it. If you got a solid gold toilet in there.
Just, it would have been the number one news in Albania. Solid gold toilet has been stolen. just an army of men just waking up and leaving. Goodbye, my dear. I will return.
It's like the Albanian version of Willy Wonka.
The golden shitter.
One of you guys are going to get it.
Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, well. That, ladies and gentlemen, is this week's Eejits of the World. Thank you for your patience while we were away spending time with our families. We're back now.
Yeah.
There's so much more shit. There will be so many more stupid stories to come. Please follow us on the social medias. Follow us, like and subscribe and comment and review and all that stuff. Give the robots a tickle under the chin, would you?
Take it to the streets, man.
Yeah.
I want you leafleting like Lee Harvey Oswald.
Would it kill one of you to make a sandwich board and ring a bell through the streets? Telling the world that Eejits of the World is back with episode 77.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Mr. Glenn.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew.
You know what?
I missed you.
Now
we
then,
missed each other.
it's been a Pod People production.
Pod People production.